In question 10, I give you 3 different rates. And I set it up like a multiplication problem. But there's something wrong with this. It's not going to work. 200 miles per week, 35 miles per gallon, and 469 per gallon. Can you see what's wrong with this? I always worry about the words first, and I'm noticing that miles are both on top, so they're not going to cancel. And gallons are both on bottom, so they're not going to cancel. We can address that, but before I go any further, I have some guidelines for you, because I've seen my students struggling with how to set these problems up, and sometimes they don't know what to start with, and that's what the first item here is about. A good rule of thumb is to start with the quantity that is specific to the story. In question 9, I think I mean question 10 here, driving 200 miles per week is what will determine the result. So that's the thing that's specific to the story. The car is getting 35 miles per gallon. That's kind of just a fixed thing for your car. And the price of gas, again, that doesn't really have anything to do with you. So the 200 miles per week is the part that's sort of unique to your story. If the person drove more or less, the result would change. So start with 200 miles per week. The next thing to think about is, what are you being asked to find? Notice that the question up here says, how much do I spend on gas each week? So ideally, my goal is dollars per week. And you can write down dollars over week on the right-hand side of your paper and keep it in mind as your goal. So looking at this, I'm trying to get dollars per week at the end of the story, and I do have dollars on top, and I do have weeks on bottom. So that's actually good. I am moving in the right direction as far as these are concerned. So what this makes me think is that it's the middle fraction that's the problem. This fraction is set up correctly, and so is this one. So third item here is, the rest of the fractions can be flipped as needed or not to ensure that the other units cancel out. This is what needs to happen in the middle fraction. So if we were to flip this fraction upside down, then miles would cancel and gallons would cancel, and that's what we're going to do. So write out the multiplication of rates correctly and then cancel the units and work it out. So now I rewrote the problem. And I wanted to show you that there's a different way, there's a couple different ways to work this out. The first thing we want to think about is the fact that these units are going to cancel the way we want. Gallons cancels gallons. Excellent. And the next thing I wanted to show you is that we are going to get dollars per week, so that's a good thing. And then as far as crunching the numbers, you can do 200 times 1 times 469, which is what I'm doing down here, and 1 times 35 times 1. Get your answer on top, get your answer on bottom. So 200 times 4.69, enter, divided by 35, whoops, answer, divided by 35, enter. So 26.8 or 2680 every week is what I spend. I wanted to show you that this is a way that my nursing students taught me. 200, divide by 35, because that's on bottom, and then multiply by 469, which is on top. So that's just a little faster. Anywhere there's a 1, you can just ignore it because it doesn't do anything. But we start with 200, divide by 35, multiply by 469, and it's a faster way to get to this 2680 answer. $200 divided by 35 times 4.69, and we're immediately at the answer there. So that's great. And write your answer as a rate and as a sentence. In this situation, I would spend $26.80 each week on gas. So hopefully this is making sense for you. I'm trying to present these topics in a way that you can relate to from real life information.